will be beautiful. It's going to be marvelous. And in the kingdom, there's going to be a lot of perks. A lot of different things will come to pass. We're going to have everything. We're going to inherit the earth and the universe as a whole. We're going to have new technology that the earth has never seen before. We're going to travel to different planets. We're going to experience fresh air, chemtrail free, fresh water, all of that, you know? Can you imagine drinking water with the minerals in it? Can you imagine eating food that's real food, that's not GMO, that's not genetically modified? You don't have to have a care in the world. You're going to be worry-free. All right? No complaining about anything. Everything's going to be taken care of. All right? The kingdom of heaven is going to be glorious, and we haste for the kingdom of heaven to come. All right? We highly anticipate it.
But rather, seek ye the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Sell that ye have, and give alms. Provide yourselves bags which wax not old, a treasure in the heavens that faileth not, where no thief approacheth, neither moth corrupteth. But where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
The Lord is going to give us our heart's desires. We're going to inherit all things. He's going to give us our heart's desires. So whatever we want, whatever we desire, that's why we're doing this work. So we can inherit the earth and inherit everything, inherit the blessings of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, having total access to the blessings of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Because our lives right now are hidden. Our lives are on reserve. It's like a reservation. Okay? That's why our conversation is in heaven. Because our lives are with Yahushua. So our lives are hidden right now. That's why we're not living on this side. Right now we're dead. But very soon we're going to be living. All right? We're going to be living.
And the kingdom and dominion, and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners who have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right. And with GMS Mississippi Camp. And what we want to get into today, all right, is dealing with, is there no more wisdom in teaming? Okay. And when you go into the scriptures, all right, you hear the name teaming, come up, often. All right, which we're going to get straight into with dealing with teaming, who is teaming, okay, and what that represents. Okay, because what we have to understand, all right, there's a hierarchy, all right, of the Edomite rulership. Okay, and at the top of the hierarchy, you have Amalek, okay, which are the bankers, all right, but then you have these think tanks and these engineers, which represents teaming. Okay, so we're going to go into these things and go into a few, notable teaming nights, just to give, just to paint the picture. All right, of why teaming, Esau depends on teaming, okay, heavy in his kingdom. Okay, so you can read that, bro. Jeremiah 49:7.
God, it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49 and verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus said Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in teaming? Yep. Is counsel, go ahead.
No, you got it.
Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?
Yeah, so concerning Edom, All right, so we know this is dealing, the context of dealing with Edom. So when we go into Teman, all right, all right, here we go. All right, which is in the Hebrew. All right, Thayamun. All right, Thayamun in the Hebrew. Okay, and you can read that first definition, bro.
Con, as definition one under outline of biblical usage, son of Eli, E,
Eliphaz.
Eliphaz, so throughout,
Yep, you
son
good.
of Eliphaz, the grandson of Esau, and one of the dukes of Edom.
Yep, go ahead.
Definition two, the tribe descended from one noted for the wisdom of his people.
Yeah, so we know that this is, the actual grandson of Esau was a man named Teman, which he was one of the dukes of Edom. Okay, which means he had, rank, amongst, all right, Esau, Edom. Okay, the direct grandson of Esau, and he was noted, all right, for the wisdom of his people. So now when you go back to read, okay, Jeremiah 49:7 is when it's going to, is there no more wisdom in Teman? His counsel perished from the prudent, is their wisdom vanished? All right, because Teman plays a major part, okay, in being the think tank for this beast system, okay, and engineering and coming up with a lot of inventions, okay, a lot of weaponry, okay, transportation, okay, when it comes to these Temanites, which Teman today, all right, are these Germans, okay, and I mean the brother just going over some things just to show you, okay, Temanites real time, that people are familiar with when you go to here, the brother had brought it to my attention right before the lesson. But when you go here to this guy Albert Einstein, which that's a proverb even in this society. You compare someone that's smart or wise. You would compare them to who? Einstein. He was like the standard of wisdom of this age. All right, so we go to Albert Einstein. It says Albert Einstein was a German-born, all right, Temanite theoretical physicist who is best known for developing the theory of relativity. All right, and it says Einstein was also made important. Let's go into it. Where you go? All right. So yep. So it says born March 14. It said was a German-born theoretical physicist. Okay. You deal with that is as a branch of physics that employs mathematical models and abstractions of physical objects and systems to rationalize, explain, and predict. So let me go down. To rationalize, explain, and predict natural phenomena. This is a contrast to experimental physics. We use experimental tools. Okay, but it says Einstein has made important contributions to quantum mechanics. His mass energy equivalence formula E equals mc2, which arises from special um, relativity, has been called the world's most famous equation. Now, you go into this E, all right, equals mc2. Okay, in physics is mass, energy equivalence is a relationship between mass, energy, and a system rest frame. And really, when the devil came up with this, he was trying to figure out the Most High. And what the devil did, he found out that the Most High had to exist outside of time. In order for him to create everything, he had to exist outside of time. I know El Zahar real good at breaking that down. I ain't went into it in a while, but this devil really was trying to put the Most High in the equation, and he found out you can't. He exists outside of time, you know. So, um, uh, uh, going from there, let's get another one. Um, you got this guy. And I know that brothers from Alabama put me on him. Okay, but let's go into him. Like I said, you can read this one, bro.
Abraham Esau was a German physicist. After receipt of his what is it, doctorate?
Yeah, doctor. Yep.
Okay, it was just a little blur on my end. Throughout after receipt of his doctorate from the University of Berlin, Esau worked at Telefunken,
Yeah, that's it.
where he pioneered very high frequencies or VHF waves using radar, radio, and television, and he was
So
president.
it was German, if I could say, it was Teman that really came up with, radio, radar, that television. All
Mm-hmm.
right, which we know these things were used heavy for mind control, and we got a video that's going to go into that. This TV programming, Teman was behind, a lot of it. you know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, I want to jump down because this is the guy who really um started the path to what we call nuclear physics. All right, which he came up, he started to go into the atom, and then he delved into nuclear physics. You know, so uh, 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 yeah, you can read this paragraph here, bro.
In 1937, Esau was head of the physics section of a newly created Re-
Research, yeah, rec,
research,
yeah, rec, yeah,
Research Council, RFR. From 1939, he was a professor at the University of Berlin and the president of the REC Physical and Technical Institute. For his position in the RFR, he initiated the first meeting of the Uranium
yep.
Club in early 1939.
And uranium is one of the main components needed, to make nuclear weaponry, okay, or to use nuclear power. And that's why you had the Iran nuclear deal, all right. The stipulations, all right, with Iran is that they had to limit their uranium, to such a low content, you know. So you go into the uranium, all right. That's the main component in nuclear weapons. All right, you got it, bro.
Mm-hmm. The precursor of the precursor to the Army Ordnance Office, HWA, German nuclear energy project, which began in September of that year, when the HWA gave control of the project to the RFR in 1942. Esau became the pel-
I would say, plenum, plenum,
plenary,
potentiary. I think plenum.
plenary potentiary. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a new one now. of of nuclear physicists and was in control of the project. In 1944, Esau became the plenipotentiary of the high frequency engineering of FLACA, the high frequency engineering and radar working group.
yeah. So this devil, you know, he was known for the German nuclear program. Dealing with the radio, the radars, the TV. Because even you go into these missile defense system, the main component on their defense system is those rockets, which were German engineered, and those projectiles and those radars, you know, because a missile defense system is only as good as its radars. All right, but it was teaming. They got the ball rolling on all that type of technology. Okay. Now, just to bring it to modern time, there's no coincidence this man's name is Abraham Esau, to tap into, nuclear physics. So now you go just bring it up to modern time. Would you more domestic engineering of the Germans. So yeah, you can read that, bro, and we'll scroll down.
Okay, I got you. German engineering was widely recognized for its precision, quality, and innovation, with notable feats including the development of the automobile, the Zeppelin airship.
Yeah, and you just read, and it said the development of the automobile by cars, Benz. You get that Mercedes Benz brand.
Gun.
Yeah. But you
Gun.
got it, bro.
The Zeppelin ship, which was Count
Ferdinand
Ferdinand
von Zeppelin.
von Zeppelin, the
Yeah.
diesel engine, was it Rudolph?
Rudolph Diesel. Yeah. So when you get diesel gas and the diesel engine, that's a team night, right? Rudolph. Hey, you see?
Gun.
Go ahead.
The modern rocket, which was Warner von
Braun. And
the helicopter.
that's the team of the night that they got to work with NASA. That's who got Esau into space, was that German, rocket scientist, Werner von Braun. You got it, bro.
Gun. The helicopter, Herrenrick Folk.
Yep.
The bicycle called Darius.
Dre's. You can say
Dre's.
Yeah.
All contributing significantly to the modern transportation technology.
You keep reading. Automotive industry.
Automotive industry. German car brands like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, Audi, and Porsche are renowned for their high performance engineering, advanced technology, and robust design.
Go ahead.
You say something, bro?
No, I said you go ahead. Yep.
Good. Aerospace advancements. Germany has played a major role in space exploration, with Werner von Braun developing the Saturn V rocket used in Apollo moon missions.
Mm-hmm. Can you read?
Precision manufacturing. German engineering is often associated with what is
meticulous. Yep.
Meticulous attention to detail and high manufacturing standards, producing high precision components.
Mm-hmm.
Innovative technologies. Germany has a history of pioneering new technologies, including development of the audio tape recorder by Fritz Polymer.
Mm-hmm. So just to harp on, all right, German engineering, how prominent it is in society, and mainly for Esau's military, and for his programming. Now let's get a few scriptures, and we're gonna go into the video. So let me go back to the blue letter. Okay, because people drive these cars and have no idea, that these Germans, like they pretty much tapped in. When it comes to their engineering, like them niggas got engineering demon with them.
They be on it, boy.
Yeah. Like they be way ahead of these other Edomites, But let's get a few precepts. So let's get this in. Because showing this is all of the Lord, all these inventions, this weaponry and this engineering and technology that Esau is able to possess. Okay, he was granted that, he was given that from the Lord. Okay, so yeah, start Job 33 and 15.
Come, Job chapter 33 and verse 15. In a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls upon men and slumbering upon the bed, then he opened the ears of men and sealed their instruction.
Yeah, so these inventors, they get their instructions, all right, their ideas, okay, from on high. Okay, the Lord wanted Esau to tap into, because you look at it, the rocket. Okay, because those are the same rockets, those rocket engines that are used for ballistic missiles today. So Esau, the Lord put instructions on Esau to destroy his own empire, man. Because you got the uranium. So you had one devil working on the uranium, Abraham, Esau. Then you got Weiner von Braun. He was working on the rocket engine, okay, and the radar. So these devils, these Temanites, will use their wisdom, ultimately is going to be used against them. Everything that they've come up with, all this technology, and even the radio and TV. Because guess what? Now the prophets are on their TV program. So everything that they built, okay, to keep them in power and forward them and keep them ahead of these other nations is the same thing that's going to remove them from power. So the Lord set them up for failure, but it seemed like a win, in real time. But on the back end, it was always being set up for failure. All right. You can read verse 17, bro.
Verse 17, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide the pride from man.
Yep.
Hide pride from man, Salaki.
Yep. So everyone is marching to the tune of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, you know. So man is not moving on their own accord. No, the Lord sealed your instructions. All right. So these Temanites, the Lord endowed them with their wisdom for his purpose. Okay. Let's go here. You can say something, bro?
No, you got it, bro. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's get this in I think it's Isaiah 54 and might be 56. So like just get a few. All right. I thought it would. Hold on.
Are you good?
Smith.
Why are you finding it, bro? Because when you actually think about it, we talk about, the true power that a nuclear weapon has. They talk about, it being hotter than, or than so many times of the sun, or anything like that. You got to really understand, okay, where is this power really coming from? Who's the mind behind, behind these things.
Come on, bro. And you can read that in Isaiah 54 and 16.
Come on, Isaiah chapter 54 and verse 16. Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coal and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy.
Yeah, so the Lord created the smith. You have the ancient blacksmith or ironsmith. He will be responsible, for making the weaponry, their days of their time. Okay, but now the new smith is these military engineers, these scientists, these physics. Okay, these are the new smiths. All right, so they was created by the Most High. All right, to bring forth an instrument for His work, and the Lord created a waster to destroy. So the Lord wanted all this destructive power in the earth, so prophecy can be fulfilled. Because remember, this prophecy of the earth, all right, of the elements being melt with fervent heat. You read that in the book of Peter. Well, that was all right. 1900 years before these German scientists, okay, was on the scene. Okay, to create these instruments, these weapons that can burn the elements with fervent heat. So everything is marching to the will and the tune of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. All right. These are the Lord's weapons. And just get one more precept, then we'll say away to the video. If you didn't have none, bro. This Jeremiah 50 and 25. You can read it, bro.
Come on, Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 25. Yahweh had opened his armory and had brought forth weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, power of hosts, and Slakia in the land of the Chaldeans.
Yep. So the Lord said he have opened up his armor. You see, so first he had to open up the minds of these different scientists and nuclear physics and you know, certain engineers to what? To bring about the weapons of his indignation. See, the Lord allowed the devil to tap in like this because the Lord, see, these weapons, you have to think these weapons was made with somebody with ill intent. You see, when the Lord put the spirit on these devils to make this weaponry, the Lord had ill intent for these devils, man. To make these weapons this powerful, man. And to move as fast as they move, to be able to go from one continent to another, man. You know, you can say something, bro.
Cause it just goes back to how we saw Esau. Teman is Esau's grandson, so he's on that lineage. He's through that lineage of Esau. And what was Esau gifted? What was his blessing? His
Exactly.
sword. And
Exactly.
he tapped. We always say Esau. Tapped in the heels all the way.
Oh yeah.
And we can see at the Germans, Temanites, they tap fully in, from the sword to the automobile to the inventions to technology. We can see that this devil really was. He really is blessed with the sword.
Come on, bro. And just real quick, I want to get this before we get the video
I got you.
because as we were talking before we jumped on. So and then this link up with what we were talking about yesterday too, because people have to remember that America and Russia were allies in World War II, okay, against the Germans. So when Russia, because it was Russia that really did the dirty work and defeated Germany, okay, when you go into that World War II. But when Germany was overthrown, it was a race to get them scientists, okay, and immediately America and Russia fell out. And it shows you that, and they didn't just decide to fall out. It was already both of their intention to fall out with each other once this war was done. Then you know that these devils will work with each other to a certain point. They'll be in lockstep and work to a certain point, but they'll fall out once they reach a certain point, within their agenda. And this is what we're gonna see with World War III. These devils are working with each other. Well, it's gonna get to a point where they gonna fall out, you
Come,
know, because people don't even remember. Because you look at the American Russian relationships now, but you wouldn't even put it together that they were allies in World War II. You can say something, bro.
bro, I was in the spirit. I was just thinking about that too. When it comes to World War III, we're seeing how we had a proxy wars and everything going on right now. That's just mainly a distraction. But we can see how, again, like you said, down when you really look into it, a lot of them are kind of working together. They really just they're working together to get everything, and then when it comes time, they're gonna fall out because it's gonna be an all-out war to see who's gonna try to they want to try to be that focal point or that new superpower on the top. So all of them going in there following every time, like they all buddy now. When you look past all the proxy wars and everything right now, for the most part, when you start looking at China and these other different places, when you start looking into the point that the actual real trajectory that the WEF, which is the World Economic Forum, and the UN, the United Nations, where they're trying to get to. So a lot of them are working together. But eventually they're gonna fall out because it's gonna be an all-out war. Because the same way they worked together in World War II, once it's over with, they're gonna be fighting over who do what and who's over who and all that shit like that. And that's gonna be all-out war. And that's gonna be that World War III.
Come on, bro. So yeah, we're just gonna get into it.
You me read this?
Yeah. So this dealing with Operation Paperclip, and this was America scrambling to get those German scientists, those Temanites, after World War II. So you just read that first paragraph, bro.
Operation Paperclip was a secret U.S. intelligence program that recruited German scientists and engineers to work in the United States after World War II. The program's goal was to gain expertise in rocketry, missiles, and other technologies that Germans had developed.
Come on. So you read how it worked. Yep.
How it worked. The program began in July 1945 and continued into the 1960s. The U.S. recruited over 1,600 scientists, engineers, and technicians from Nazi Germany.
Wait a minute, boy. I thought they was so anti-Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
Is was the video gonna tell it all? All
Mm-hmm.
right. Yeah, you can read them last two.
The scientists worked on a variety of projects, including guided missiles, jets, and rocket engines, and aerospace medicine. Many scientists went on to work in the U.S. to work in U.S. military, industrial, and academic positions.
Yep. So, Teman was heavy infused into American culture. As scientists, the engineers, the think tanks, even academics, even in medicine. Okay. So these
Oh,
Temanites play a heavy part in keeping, all right, this devil's, all right, kingdom going. Okay. Now on the flip side, let's just get this as
yeah.
well.
If I may add, bro, when you
You
get into
got,
when you get into these actual programs, and we went into that, we were studying up on the topic and everything. A lot of that, especially that aerospace medicine, um, I can't remember the guy's name. The German that was behind that, but he actually tortured a lot of people. A lot of them people that was in those concentration camps. He tortured a lot of them because when they were learning about aerospace medicine, they was trying to see how the human body will react to extreme conditions. So a lot of those people were dying, and a lot of a lot of that went into basically they was torturing a lot of people throughout these different programs as well.
damn,
I get that name for you, but go ahead, bro.
come. But yeah, this is what the Operation Osaviacum. Now this was Russia's version of Operation Paperclip. All right, so you can read that first paragraph, bro.
Operation Ostaviacum was a secret Soviet operation in which more than 2,500 German scientists. That's it. When German scientists goes into scientists, engineers, and technicians who worked in several areas.
Mm-hmm.
All right, from companies and institutions related to military and economic policy in the Soviet occupation zone of Germany, which is SBZ, and Berlin, as well as around 4,000 more family members, totaling more than 6,000 people, were taken from former Nazi Germany as war reparations to the Soviet Union. God
Yeah,
damn.
so Russia, they went, and scrambled up. All right, these are German specialists, scientists, engineers, and technicians. Okay, so they even had more than America, and then you had this, and we just laying it all out there, to paint the picture. Um, so Russia had more, them Temanites, and you had this situation with Sputnik. Okay, and Sputnik, all right, was a satellite. All right, when you read Sputnik 1, okay, so let's read that about Sputnik 1, bro. And this was a satellite, launched by the Soviet Union.
But Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite launched by the Soviet Union in 1957. The launch shocked the United States and marked the beginning of the space age. The satellite was about the size of a beach ball and weighed 184 pounds. It took 98 minutes to orbit the Earth. The satellite transmitted beeping sounds as it orbited the Earth. The word Sputnik in Russian for fellow traveler or traveling companion.
So Sputnik, all right, was the first, satellite launched, all right, and it came from Russia, okay, and it began what you call the space race at that time, okay, and America was putting pressure on their German scientists to catch up, Okay, but you go into those satellites, and what do you have? You have the GPS today. Okay, the Wi-Fi, the internet. Okay, all these different things. So German played these Temanites. All right, these Germans play a major part in the functioning of this man's kingdom. Okay, and they look to Teman to bail them out of a jam. So that's why you go back to Jeremiah 49. Is there no more wisdom in Teman? Because we see this shit falling apart. And so the Most High is mocking, like, damn, Teman can't fix this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, is the wisdom from the prudent gone? Okay, so yeah, we can go to the video now, man. Like I say we're gonna mostly let it rock. If you got something to say, just I'll stop it. You can just speak.
Come,
Then
come, you good, bro. You can go ahead. I was trying to find that team and name. It was a German who basically, going into the program just to back it up. He basically, like I said, he tortured a lot of people when it went into them actually learning about how the human body would react to different nerve agents and everything that they was basically those chemical warfare, the nerve agents. It was a teaming behind that as well.
come on, bro.
But you got it, bro.
They gonna touch on a little bit in here, dealing with them chemicals and shit. So
that actually might be it, bro.
come on. So yeah, bro. We're gonna let it play. Like I said, you can mute it up. Like I said, if you want to speak, just unmute and speak on it. I'll stop it, bro.
One does not build a stupendous war machine in a fit of passion, nor an Auschwitz factory during a passing.
Oh yeah, fair use, fair use. All right, we're not making any profit or monetary gains off this video for educational purposes only. Fair use, fair use.
Spasm of brutality.
What if I told you that in its quest to become the dominant superpower, the United States willingly brought more than 1,600 former Nazi scientists into the country?
What these men did was done with the utmost deliberation.
The once powerful Nazi war machinery is slowly crumbling to dust.
Imagine a post-World War II world where the lines between enemy and ally blur, and the pursuit of power leads to morally questionable choices. That's exactly what unfolded in one of the most controversial operations in U.S. history, Operation Paperclip. It's a story of secret deals, ethical compromise, and the race for global dominance in science and technology.
You who have not seen it do not know what hell looks like from the top. That's what Germany looks like.
As the Third Reich collapsed, the Allies were not only hunting down Nazi war criminals, they were also scrambling to capture Germany's most brilliant minds. Why? Because these scientists had pioneered advancements in everything from rocket technology to chemical weapons, knowledge that could be used to tip the balance of power in a post-war world. The United States and Soviet Union were locked in a shadowy competition, each trying to gain control of these intellectual resources. These men, some of whom had committed horrific crimes, were given new lives, new jobs, and even new identities. Welcome to the dark, ethically fraught world of Operation Paperclip.
Restaurant store.
30 chairs, non-squeak.
Restaurant store.
15 non-wobbly tables.
Restaurant store. Don't say that he's hypocritical. Say rather that he's apolitical. Once the rockets are up, who cares where they come down? That's not my department, says Werner von Braun.
Just real quick, so you had the devil that came up with the rocket, the ballistic missile, Werner von Braun. He said, when rockets go up, who cares where they come down? He said, that's not my department. My boy said, they just pay him to make them go up. Like the military decide where they come down. Because you go to them ballistic missiles, them V2 rockets, they beat the brakes off the British Empire, when they had them rockets. My boy said, look, my department is to make them go up. The military decide where they come down. you know, Typical Esau, man, Edomite.
Almost exactly 16 months after the A-bomb is dropped on Hiroshima, the U.S. Army is about to make its first major test of a ballistic rocket. Initially known as Operation Overcast, was named for the paper clips that were attached to the files of scientists that the U.S. deemed most valuable. One of the most famous figures to emerge from this operation was Wernher von Braun, the mastermind behind the Nazi V-2 rockets that had terrorized Allied cities. An altitude of 117 miles will be achieved, a world's record. This rocket is not American, however. It is German. These deadly rockets were designed in part by prisoners forced to work in inhuman conditions at the Mittelwerk factory. Von Braun wasn't just a passive bystander in this atrocity. He personally selected slave laborers from the Buchenwald concentration camp. Yet, despite his Nazi past, von Braun became a central figure in the U.S. space program, eventually helping to develop the Saturn V rocket that took Americans to the moon.
To help show you what is being done to solve these problems, we have called upon one of the foremost exponents of space travel.
And them niggas didn't make it to the moon. It was all cap. All right. The devil did develop, the rocket engine. They got them into space. Them niggas didn't go to no moon.
Come on, bro. They kept that on that one.
Dr. Wernher von Braun, who is at present the chief of the Guided Missile Division of the Army's Rocket Center at Redstone Arsenal.
But von Braun was only the tip of the iceberg. Let's talk about some of the other key players in Operation Paperclip and the morally dubious roles they played. Working with von Braun was Arthur Rudolph, who served as a production manager at the Mittelwerk facility. Under his oversight, workers endured brutal conditions, starvation, and inhumane treatment, leading to the death of thousands.
Some people believe that the reports of what happened there are exaggerated. No words could exaggerate.
Yet despite this dark past, Rudolph's expertise in rocketry made him an asset to the United States during the Cold War. Brought to America under Operation Paperclip, he became a key figure in NASA's space program, playing a significant role in developing the Saturn V rocket that enabled the Apollo moon landing. For years, he was celebrated as a hero of American science, even receiving prestigious accolades for his work.
Now I'd like to show you a department of our school, which is a logical outgrowth of what you've been seeing.
However, when his involvement in Nazi war crimes resurfaced in the 1980s, Rudolph was forced to give up his U.S. citizenship and return to Germany, largely escaping formal justice. But let's not forget another pivotal player.
For this story, you ought to talk to Dr. Hubertus Strugold.
Strugold had been involved in experiments at the Dachau concentration camp, where prisoners were subjected to cruel and lethal experiments on how the human body responds to extreme conditions. Despite the evidence of his wartime atrocities, Strugold's name was eventually cleared, once again, in the interest of national security. In the United States, Strugold became a key figure in NASA's medical program, developing life support systems and astronaut training protocols.
Dr. Strugold, what are the prospects for space travel?
Will not only make routine flight under space conditions in the vicinity of the Earth, but also that he will travel to or around the moon.
Now let's shift to some Nazi doctors, some of whom were even tried at Nuremberg. Dr. Kurt Blom, for example, had been the Deputy Surgeon General of Nazi Germany. overseeing biological warfare research that included testing on prisoners.
Professor Kurt Blomer, the Deputy Health Minister and Plenipotentiary for Cancer Research, favored testing the extract in mice, but Rascher insisted on using human test subjects. Himmler took Rascher's side, and a human cancer testing station was established at Dachau concentration camp.
When captured, Blom was charged with war crimes at the Nuremberg trials, but shockingly he was acquitted, thanks in large part to U.S. intervention.
Taking their places in the famous Nuremberg courtroom, judges of the Allied Military Tribunal begin the trial of minor war criminals.
Stop using your own cash or borrowing from hard money lenders in order to buy houses in your real estate investing business. This is
Otto Ambrose. And then there was Otto Ambrose, a chemist who had helped develop nerve agents like sarin and taboon for the Nazis. Ambrose had overseen chemical plants that used slave labor from Auschwitz, where countless workers perished.
In conquered Poland, Ambrose was shown a town where one of Himmler's largest concentration camps had just been built. The town was Oswiecim, known to the Germans as Auschwitz. Ambrose found the site otherwise suitable and was particularly interested in the possibility of using the concentration camp inmates to erect the plant, all of which was reported to the other defendants. They agreed.
He was convicted at Nuremberg, but instead of serving his full sentence, he was quietly brought to the United States to work on chemical weapons development. Ambrose was so essential to U.S. military interests that he was even granted a pardon, allowing him to continue his work with impunity. These men helped shape America's post-war scientific and military achievements, but their pasts were anything but clean.
Ambrose was part of the chemical weapons scientists that were of great interest to the United States.
So why did the U.S. welcome them with open arms? The answer lies in the geopolitical reality of the time. The Cold War had begun, and with the Soviet Union snapping up German scientists in its own operation, the U.S. couldn't afford to fall behind. National security was the justification, and for many, the ends seemed to justify the means. But this operation wasn't just a military endeavor. It was also a covert CIA initiative. The Central Intelligence Agency, newly formed in 1947, was instrumental in facilitating the transfer of these Nazi scientists into the U.S., often erasing or downplaying their Nazi affiliations in the process. Let's explore some of the key figures in the CIA who played significant roles in Operation Paperclip. One of the most notable was Allen Dulles, the first civilian director of Central Intelligence. Dulles was a master of espionage and covert operations, and during his tenure, he prioritized harnessing scientific talent no matter the moral cost.
Mr. Dulles, I know you've heard this many times, but there.
So just to catch, everyone up to speed. All right. So you had all these, scumbags. All right. These wicked Edomites, scientists, that was, to build a rocket. You had Wernher von Braun. All right. Wernher von Braun. He had pretty much a sweatshop where people died. All right. Working on this rocket. Working on these rockets, man. They had stores to where if you didn't get done, in a speedy enough time, that he would hang you on the work site. You had these devils, like you said, the devil that was experimenting, to see how much pain the human body can take. Okay. You had these people experimenting, these scientists experimenting on people. They wasn't using lab rats, they was using people, man. Because remember, these are still Edomites. Okay. So they very diabolical how they move, but they all were acquitted, okay, and incorporated into America's military and engineering and NASA, all right, aerospace, all these different sectors of society, man. Okay, and now they're going from the engineering and scientific aspect to the mind manipulation aspect, okay, which is the CIA. So even these CIA directors was teaming, all right? And the CIA plays a major part in keeping confusion and chaos going in the earth, man, with these other governments, man. These coups that we see, these uprisings, these civil wars between nations. All right, the CIA plays a major part in that, man. The drugs in America, which was a chemical attack on Jake. Okay, why do you think crack had the effect that it had, man? They knew what crack would do. You know, they knew what it would do. You see, the Temanites, they go into these things. All right, so these Temanites play a major part. All right, in how diabolical, the devil is able to be, because of their, wisdom and wickedness, man. So let's play some more.
There are people who say that we, with regard to the CIA, are waging a secret war with an invisible government.
We are obviously engaged in many facets of what is generally called the Cold War.
Dulles had been deeply involved in intelligence gathering during World War II as a senior officer in the Office of Strategic Services, OSS, the CIA's precursor. After the war, he became an architect of Operation Paperclip, pushing hard for the recruitment of German scientists. Dulles believed that if the U.S. didn't act quickly, the Soviets would recruit these same scientists, which could have catastrophic consequences in the Cold War.
The KGB is one of the most sinister organizations that ever was organized.
Are they any good? Are the Russians good at this?
Oh, yes. Oh, my, yes. You take some of their operations, they're classic.
Then there's John J. McCloy, another key figure in the operation. McCloy had served as Assistant Secretary of War during World War II and was later appointed to the U.S. High Commissioner for Germany, effectively overseeing the occupation of Germany after the war.
John McCloy's had a long life, 90 years, and most of it marked by unparalleled service to his country and humanity.
Now stick with me for the next 90 seconds and I'll actually show you how, because here's the deal. Most of the action in the markets actually...
McCloy was instrumental in negotiating the terms that allowed many of these scientists, including war criminals, to escape prosecution and work for the U.S. government. And let's not forget about James Jesus Angleton, the infamous head of counterintelligence at the CIA. Angleton, known for his paranoia and obsession with Soviet espionage, viewed the recruitment of Nazi scientists as a necessary evil.
There are those, of course, who would say that the CIA's wings were simply clipped, that they had been going too far, too fast, too freely.
Oh, there are those who will say anything.
Angleton helped run counterintelligence programs that monitored the activities of former Nazi scientists once they were brought into the United States, ensuring that they were loyal to their new homeland.
There is always a question whether a democratic country is capable of having an intelligence service of any great merit.
One figure who bridges the gap between science, intelligence, and Nazi war crimes is Reinhard Gehlen. Gehlen was a Nazi intelligence officer who had run the Wehrmacht's intelligence service on the Eastern Front. After the war, Gehlen offered his vast intelligence network to the Americans, promising valuable insight into Soviet military operations.
Thereafter, until his break with Hitler in April 1945, Gehlen reported regularly on all matters to do with Russia's war effort, gathering his information from agents inside the Soviet Union, some inside the Kremlin itself.
Allen Dulles and the CIA embraced him, establishing the Gehlen Organization, a secret West German intelligence service that operated under U.S. guidance. The Gehlen Organization became a key asset in the early Cold War, though it was staffed by many former Nazis. Operation Paperclip wasn't just about advancing science and technology. It was about creating a powerful network of individuals who could outthink, outmaneuver, and outbuild the Soviets. The ethical lines were blurred and in many cases completely crossed. These scientists, with their dark pasts, weren't simply forgotten. They were actively protected and promoted by the U.S. government. One of the most damning cases of moral compromise involves the infamous MK Ultra program, which was initiated by the CIA in the 50s. Nazi scientists brought over under Operation Paperclip played a key role in the early stages of this mind control program, which involved unethical experiments on unwitting subjects, including the use of hallucinogenics and psychological torture. Sidney Gottlieb, the CIA officer who ran MK-Ultra, reportedly worked with some of these former Nazi scientists to develop methods of controlling the human mind, methods that were disturbingly similar to techniques used in Nazi concentration camps. By the mid-20th century, many of the scientists recruited under Operation Paperclip had become household names. Werner von Braun was featured on Walt Disney's TV specials talking about space exploration and the future of mankind's journey to the stars.
Now here's a model, my design for 4-stage.
So even MK Ultra, which is a high form of mind control, as we what that movie Manchurian Candidate and what was that other movie Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson, and it goes into that. All right, but yeah, so if they know how to manipulate the mind, you see who has been targeted most in there is Jake, because who's the most bugged out on a day-to-day basis. Now the masses are bugged out and finished, but not like Jake. As you know that they targeted Jake highly with this technology, man, this mind manipulation, the music, the frequency, the hertz on the music. Okay, all these different things, man. Okay. So this devil, these Temanites play a major role when it comes to running this man's empire and the wickedness, okay, behind things that we see on a day to day. You finna say something, bro?
Nah, bro, you good. You got it. Go ahead.
That was all I had to say. So let's get back into the scriptures. Okay, so everything that this devil is doing, he's now being confounded. That's why when you go into let's get this, yep.
So like, bro, when you said that actually made sense, because and one of them was saying that they brought him over here. They took all the repercussions and the reward for work. Then when it's war crimes arose back to surface, then they shipped his ass back over there.
Oh yeah, like a throwaway.
What you say?
Like a throwaway.
Man, just use him and toss his ass on the side, bro. And send his ass back over there. But that's how Babylon do though.
Yep. Come on, bro. And we'll get these few precepts. The other video, we'll hold off on them. We'll get a few precepts to go into the Lord confounding this man, because the other videos are going to Klaus Schwab, which, he's a Temanite, the guy of the World Economic Forum, which that's what we see getting ready to, his go to Davos, Sweden, which he's, over, these talks, dealing with these world summits or these world leaders, but it goes back to Teman. He's a Temanite, but that's something we'll probably get into on another time. But let's get this First Corinthians 1:20, and then we'll jump down to 26. You got it, bro.
Let me grab it. It ain't on the screen, bro.
Oh, well, hold on, Slocky. Let me pull it up. I got it. I thought it was up there.
You good, bro?
Okay.
1 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 20. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer?
Disputer, yep.
Disputer, the water. Where is the disputer of this world? Have not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world?
Yeah, and you can see, because the wisdom of the Bible is calling out all wisdom of this world, because if they can create the rockets and go into mind manipulation, all these different engineering feats that they're able to do, but they can't dispute this word. All right, the prophets that the Lord has set up, so the Apostle Paul is in the spirit, because you had wise men of all ages. You know, there was always these men deemed wise, okay, you know, outside the scriptures in the world, okay, or in the left hand magic and different things. But now, as this wisdom has come, it's calling out all wisdom, okay? That's why the Lord is mocking Teman. If there was no more wisdom in Teman, because if those scientists could, they will come and confound us, but they can't because it's the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, so you jump down to verse 26. Go ahead.
For ye see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called.
Go ahead.
But the Most High had chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise, and the Most High have chosen the weak things of this world to confound the things which are mighty.
Yeah, so you look at the condition that we in, you know, high school diploma at best, you know, college degrees, you know, some brother college degrees at best, you know, or whatever. More ultimately, you know, we're not, you know, profound in this world, you know, to being, you know, what they say, a rocket scientist. Okay. But you see how the Lord is using what the world would look at as foolish, okay? And it's confounding the wise because everything that these devils is built, the word is breaking down. Okay, this man's kingdom is being dismantled as we speak, and they have no answer for it. They can't go to Teman and come up with a solution to the prophets, man. Okay, so the Lord is showing how powerful He is, you know, by using what the world would consider foolish to confound the wise. All right, and what the world would deem as weak to find the things that are mighty. You know, you look at the accolades of these Temanites that we've been going through. Okay, and you look at, you know, how the Lord has us just in the spirit tearing this place down, man. Okay, with none of those accolades, man, just the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai and His word, man. Okay, you got it, bro.
God, and the base things of the world and the things which are despised had the Most High chosen, yeah, the thing and things which are not, to bring to naught the things that are.
Yep. So the Lord is doing a mighty work, you know, through this teaching, through this word, you know, and it's tearing down the whole empire just through preaching, man. Okay, and you read verse 29, and we'll jump on. You got it, bro.
God, that no flesh should glorify in His presence.
Yeah, so no flesh can glory because it's all of Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, because we can't boast because we know that there's no way that we will be able to have an impact on this man's empire if the Lord wasn't with us, man. If the Lord wasn't behind this driving force. And then, you know, if you so esteem and you got all these accolades and wisdom, but you have no answer for the prophets, all right, you can't boast neither. You know, because you're being confounded by, you know, something that's considered much inferior and weaker. You know, so the Lord got it set up to where it's all on Him. You know, and this is movie. The Lord will, you know, we're playing those roles, all right, of the elect, man. Let's get this in Job 5, and you see now these scriptures that we get all the time, it should, you know, hit a little
13.
different. Start at 12.
God, Job chapter 5, verse 12, He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise.
Yep. So the devices of the crafty, you know, and like I say, they're used to teaming, you know, being able to bail them out with the financing of the elites, Amalek. So they're used to Amalek, you know, finances and teamings. Okay, wisdom. All right, they're used to that combination of them bailing them out. Okay, and putting them ahead of the game. Okay, but now they're in a time where they're going to be disappointed. You see, they're not going to be able to perform, all right, this thing that they want to perform, this enterprise. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Verse 13, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness in the counsel of the fool and is carried headlong.
Yep, so He taking the wise, okay, in their own craftiness. Remember, everything that these devils have built and engineered is going to work against them, man. Okay, America going to be destroyed completely by missiles. Okay, you can have an exchange with Russia and there's EU nations with missiles. All right, so all these Edomites, okay, because a lot of Edomites going to be the leader in nuclear destruction. You know, which is the work of their own hands. All right. So the Lord always had these devils in the trick bag to set them up for failure. And it doesn't matter what they have, you know, what their weaponry, their radars, their mind control, they can't stop the elect from being sealed by this word, no matter how much mind control they know, okay, or mind manipulation they know. And they can't stop their kingdom from being destroyed, no matter how much weaponry they got. Okay. So let's get we'll end it here. Let's get Psalm 33 and 16 and we'll read down. You got it, bro.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 33, verse 16. There is no king saved by the multitude of an host.
Mm-hmm.
A mighty man is not delivered by much strength.
Go ahead.
And horse is a vain thing for safety, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter, you know, about what this man has been able to build up military. Okay. None of these things matter. They're vain. Okay, when it comes to prophecy, man, and what the Lord wants, his counsel. You see? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 18. Behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy.
Yeah, so that's what the Lord is dealing with in these times, his people, you know, that came back to their fear. Okay, the hopeful elect. That's the only thing that's finna prevail. You know, we speak about the victory. Well, when it says we're gonna have victory over the beast, we're gonna have victory over all these odds that stacked up against us, man. Okay, Amalek with his finances, Teman, you know, with their technology, okay, and everything else that we're up against, man. Okay, and it's gonna be through the fear of Yahweh Shem Shai. So all this military and technology build up that this man, you know, has harnessed within his empire is going to fail. Okay, you can read, bro.
Done. Verse 19. To deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. Our soul awaited for Yahweh. He is our help and our shield.
Yeah. So we have no option but to wait. You know, and the Lord said He's gonna keep them alive in famine. You know, and that's a promise we have to remember when we get in these jams in the times to come. You know, nah, He is. Okay, yeah, we understand. You know, Esau has been blessed on the left hand side within his rulership. Okay, but this man doesn't have the last say so, and what he has, all right, doesn't work against what the Lord wants. Okay, it works for the will of the Lord. Okay, but in the midst of all this, you know, we're gonna be good. You know, and we have a help in the shield. All right, that's a power that these devils can't deal with. The technology of the Most High, all right, is on a whole nother wave. Okay, what He has. That's why we go into these devils, but we focus on the Most High. Yahweh Shai, how they coming? You know, go ahead.
Come on. Oh, yeah, verse 21, right?
Yeah.
For our heart shall rejoice in him because he have trusted in Bislaki, because we have trusted in his holy name.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let thy mercy, O Yahweh, be upon us according as we hope in thee.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about, being in good standings with our power, because that's another thing. There's technology that the devil hasn't even brought to the forefront. In the times we coming into, the devil, he's going to go all out, So there's certain technology that we don't even know the devil got, that he has prepared, for these times. You see? So Yeah, that was pretty much the point. You had something else, bro? Before we close?
Bro, but that just shows you too, how we can bring it, full circle to today's time. They said that in there they was looking at, they were studying, how studying human mind control. Well, let's fast forward all the way to today. What they trying to do right now with the sea hip.
Yeah, the Neuralink.
It's all about their mind control as far as in that case. So we can see that this devil really been on the same thing for decades now.
Oh
So
yeah.
at the end of the day, like you said, we have to continue to lean on who we know that we have faith in, who we got hope in, and that's Yahweh Shema Shah. So if you don't know the name Yahweh Shema Shah, when we was going into it yesterday, it's gonna come to a certain point, bro, where we're not gonna be able to do this here no more. So I always say, what does scripture say? Seek the Lord, seek Yahweh Shema Shah, while they may be found.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spirit put it on us, just like Yahweh Shema Shah controls them on the left hand side. He controls us on this side as well, bringing these things out and giving us the Spirit and that investigative spirit, as you was going into earlier, we was talking, and bringing these things out and letting these things be known. Because, like I said, if it wasn't for Yahweh Shema Shah, we wouldn't. There's nothing we would be able to amount to when it comes to exposing this devil, man, for all the bullshit and everything they've been doing. We can see that he got a long, and it's just and going and it's less. We can go all the way back, to even a foundation, but even before. Now, every time when it comes to Esau, it's always some bullshit, and we can continue to see it, continue to bring this out. The math just, it's all going to be in the spirit, who is for and who is not. But you can see, who is the bad guy in this case. The wicked, the sword, and he tapped in. So we got to be tapped into our blessing as well. And in this time right now, our blessing is the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah. What you got, bro?
Yeah, that was beautiful said, bro. So yeah, the point was made. Lord will just keep the ball rolling. Tapping in. Keep this inquisition on the devil. Going. Bring these things out to the forefront. As we come to the time to where the devil finna go all out. And he's gonna pull out all stops. To try to set up this enterprise and establish, his kingdom under Satan forever. So Lord will you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again. I want to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashai, Bahashai, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example towards young brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations, Shalom.
Shalom.